What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Yorkshire Modeller. We now have issue 82 of Hachette Partworks Battleship Bismarck, and for the first time in 82 weeks of doing this part work, I've been a little bit clever. So when I say I've been a little bit clever, I've been having a think. Now, a lot of the issues I've had with this part work are the amount of parts that we get. As I did in issue, I forget which one it was now, the one that was split into 78. Issue 78, I had to split the video into two parts because there was an hour and a half worth of footage for me to edit, and I wasn't going to upload a video that was an hour long for you guys because, you know, you get bored after that length of time of watching somebody just building things. So I've thought of something that I didn't ever think of before, which is weird. What I've done, I've cut all the parts off the sprue already. So what I'll do with my close cam, because obviously I can move this bad boy about. What we've got here are, and I really hope you can see that, are, oh no, not quite, all the parts. That's better. So I've got all the parts lined up there for this issue. Hiya. So yeah, we've got all the parts there lined up ready, so that all I have to do is go, that's step 1, that's step 2, that's step 3, that's step 4. What I've also done is, because there's some breakwaters involved in this one, I've already put the breakwaters together, and I've filed the bottom smooth, and I've already bent all the photo etch. So what I'm able to do with this is I'm able to show you guys what the part looks like without having to go, this is it on the sprue, let me cut it off, let me file it down. It's all done and ready to go. So all I now have to do is build it. So I'm hoping this should shorten things down a bit. If we do get quite a lot of parts in any of the future issues, this is exactly what I'm going to do. So I can show you on this camera what the parts actually are, and then so you can see what you're building, and then I can just put it all together so you can see where it goes. Nice and simple. Let's get started with the build of issue 82. So what we actually get with issue 82 is more details for the hangars and the main deck as well. So we get one proper sprue. We get one sprue, which is this one just down here, that's got the bases for the breakwater supports. Then we get a few different bits here. What's this one? 28.4. Accommodation ladder, which I'm not sure if we fit in this issue from looking through the instructions. Then we get the pins for the breakwater supports. And then we also get a couple of photo etch sprues there, which, like I've showed you, I've already built up and got them ready to rock and roll. So, what we need first is the deck. So, bringing this bad boy in. Now, obviously, you can see there, we've still got the rope reels that we attached in previous issues. All of the 15cm guns and the other rope reels at the back are all attached on there as well. So, as I say, I've got all the parts, a bit dusty, I've got all the parts lined up down here. So all I need to do is grab them, glue them onto what we've got here, basically. So, take the upper deck structure, 19.1, cut vent A from the frame, check the fit on the port side of the barbette as shown and glue in place. So part A is this little one just here. It's got the two little holes in, and then if looking at it in profile, it looks like that. And this will go on the port side, so facing you guys just here. And it will go in between these two rope reels here and here. So if you're showing you on this camera here, it'll just go in that little slot that you can see just there. Now there is quite a lot of space on this that you can put the glue. There is obviously the kind of the peg that it can go on as well. But you do have a lot of the actual structure of this part to be able to glue it down on. There we go. So that's in. Right. So that's part 1 done. Now with part 2 of the vents for the barbette on the second gun. Cut the vent B and ledge E from the frame. Check the fit and glue in place. Now, I haven't actually glued these two bits together yet. So that's the vent, the archway at Nagasaki, think it was Nagasaki, wasn't it? The famous archway that people have said was made of Nokias. And then that's the ledge just there. So all we do is, where you've got those two little square holes, you just glue it in there. That's simple enough to glue in there like that. So when you've built it, it will look like that. So now this goes next to this. Let's see if I can get this into shot there. So it goes next to that little rope reel just there, into the two little holes at the side of it. So, and it's these two little pegs on the bottom that you're going to glue in. Nearly. There we go, that's in. Right. That's on. There we go. So that's that vent on. Then on this side, just here. So I'll show you on this camera just here. So it's on this side just here. You've got the vent F, which is this slightly longer one just here. And it looks like this one. Where are we looking on this? Right, so cut vent F from the frame, check the fit onto the starboard side of the barbette and glue in place as shown. So that one will go. It's actually more on the front, this one. So let's see if you can make it out on this camera just here. So yes, you can. So you've got these two little holes. So there's that kind of rectangular one there, and there's that one there. It's that one that it's going into. So it's pretty much right at the front of the model, this one. I'm going to dip that in the glue because that should be fine there. There we are. That's in. So then that's, whoops. So that's that vent in just there. And then cut vent D, check the fit on the side of the barbette and glue in place as shown. So vent D is a little bit more bulky, so it's this one just here. And that one will go into the hole that is next to that one that we've just installed just there. So a bit of that glue, there we are. Now I am going to put a little bit of glue on this one, just on the top of the, this vent, just to keep it attached to the actual barbette itself. There we go. Right, so that's that one on. Finally cut vent C from the frame and check the fit, slipping it behind the small rope reel, glue in place. So there is a tiny little hole just behind that rope reel. I can't actually get it on camera, unfortunately, but I'll give it a try actually. So where we've got this small rope reel just here, no, you're not going to be able to see it. Just behind this rope reel, there's a little rectangular hole, and that's for this vent. Just here. So this is going to be really, really awkward, isn't it? There we go. Right, now I've got that in there. So what I'm going to do for this bit is just the same as with the last one. I'm going to put a little bit of glue along the top. Because when this glue along the top, sets, it's going to basically keep it in place properly then. There we go. So that's all of the vents. Let me show you on there. So we started off around this side here, and then we've done all the vents all the way around there. So that is that bit basically done. Now the two breakwaters and a ladder. So it looks like we do actually attach the ladder in this one, so I'll bring the ladder down here. Right, so now like I say, this bit I've already built, and I've already done all... Ooh, glasses are on an angle. I've already built the breakwater supports, so that bit we don't need to worry about. Just follow the instructions. It's the same as when we did the brake. It's the same as when we did, the breakwaters for the very, very front of the Bismarck. You just push the metal. What I do is leave them on the actual sprue, leave the little plastic grey bits on the sprue, push the silver bits in, and then cut them off the sprue, because then you've got something that you can hold them with, and you know it's a little bit more of a substantial part. So, identify the three recesses in the starboard side, which are these three little holes just here. So I'll show you on the side camera. So we've got those three little holes, sort of one there, and one there. Identify the three recesses in the starboard side of the deck 19.1 where the ladder 82.4 fits. When you are happy that you have positioned it correctly, apply a little super glue to the pegs of the ladder and glue in place. So this is the ladder. So that's your ladder. And just looking at the instructions, so that ladder will go in just like that. You can see it on there, and then I'll just show you in close up on this one as well, so you can see it there. So I'm just going to take that out. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on each of the pegs. That's the ladder in and attached on that one. Ooh, I'm going to take this hoodie off, it's a bit warm in here now. So, now we take the breakwaters, which are these two parts here and here, and these will go into the three holes on either side of the barbette. So there's three holes just there, and then there's another three just there. And just making sure we get these the right way round. So, the flat side, which looks like it's got a little bit of detailing on it, so that one, or let me show you on that one because it's probably a bit of a better image, that one there, that faces towards the front of the ship. It doesn't show you in the completed picture. Right, that's fine. So, the starboard rear breakwater is fitted to the starboard side of the upper deck section, not far from the accommodation ladder. Glue in place. The port rear breakwater is fitted in the corresponding place on the other side of the upper deck section. So that will be the starboard, that will be the port, I'm guessing. Yeah, so these go in. Go in there like that, and then this one will go in here like that. Yeah, right. So when you are happy with the fit of them, glue them into place. So we've just got to glue these in place the same as we did with the breakwaters on the forecastle deck. they're both on there nicely now. Now next is the attaching the breakwater supports. So take 2 of the lever joints, they're positioned at each end of the they're positioned at one end of the starboard breakwater, with the joints 82.5 fitted into the recess in the deck. When you're happy, fit them in place at the levers lean up against the breakwater. So where we're gluing these is, if I just move this camera around this way a little bit, get a bit of a better angle. So those 2 little holes just there, and the same place on the other side is where we're going to glue these 4 tiny little bleeders. So we'll get this done, sped up obviously, because it's the same as what we did with the breakwaters when we did the forecastle deck. See you soon. So, there we go. So we've got both of them on that side, both of them on that side, and then a little bit of a closer up image there, and there as well. So that's the breakwaters attached onto both. Now we're getting to adding the details to the hangers and fixing them in place. So, we've got both the hangers just off to the side here. So, we've got port, starboard. So, now cut the handrail M from frame 82.8 and bend the handrail at right angles along the fold lines. Bend the handrail M at right angles along the next 2 fold lines, making a U shape as shown. So what you'll end up with is this. So, curved handrail. And you'll do that the same for the 2 parts, but there'll be mirror images of each other. So you'll have an L and you'll have an M for these. Obviously, I've got M here. So take the port hanger, which I've got just here. So you can always tell the difference between the 2 because obviously the kind of mirror images of each other themselves. But the port one will have smaller details on that side as opposed to some of the larger ones here. So for example, this vent just here is a lot bigger than what you get on this one. So, port. Check the fit of the handrail on the roof. When you have it positioned correctly, apply a little super glue to the pegs and fix in place. So this goes round the vent on this side. So this vent just here, this part will go round it. And there are a few little kind of pegs and holes and things for it to fit into. That fits in nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a dab of glue onto these pins, just like that, and then I'm just going to pin this into place like that. So that's in and attached there, just like that. And then fit the L handrail in place exactly the same way. And that there is the L handrail all in place. So that's those 2 handrails done. Next we take ladder N from the frame 82.8 and bend the handrails up at right angles along the fold lines. Make sure you bend them in the correct direction. Then bend down the 2 pegs on the side, and then the ladder is bent at the central fold line so that the angles of the ladder match the pitch of the roof. See steps 9 below. cut ladder O from the frame and do the same exact thing. So fit the ladder N. So this is what ladder N will look like when it's all done. So you've got 2 pegs, one at that end and one at that end, and then the handrails folded in the opposite direction. So fit ladder N on the roof of the starboard hanger. So that will fit into there like that, that will fit into there like that. So where you fit in this is where you've got that circular hole just there, and then the little rectangular one just there, whoops, sorry, there, that's where you're fitting it to. So nice and easy again, just a little bit of glue on there, put one end in. Now the good thing about this is you can actually bend this part into position, because as soon as the glue grabs it, it should, in theory, just stick. And hope there isn't too much pressure on it. Now I'm going to use some of my super glue activator for this bit. There's no glue on there, hasn't even stayed on there, so I'm going to have to put a bit more glue on there. Pop that in there quickly, because that's going to set very quickly now. There we go. So that's what that ladder will look like, just on there, up here when it's all attached. And then fit the ladder O on the roof of the port hanger in the same way. There we go, so that's that one in as well. So that ladder in at the top just there. So that's both of the ladders attached. Now, cut walkway G from frame 82.7, bend the rails upwards at right angles and the legs down as shown. Do the same thing with catwalk H, I, the 2 ladders J, and the catwalk K as well. So take the starboard hanger, which is this one, and check the fit of catwalk G. I believe that was the first one, wasn't it? Yes, it was. So again, as I say, I've got all the parts lined up here, so makes things a little bit quicker. So takes the starboard hanger, check the fit of catwalk G along the side of the roof, glue in place as shown. So now this is going to go into the 2 rectangular pegs that you can see, oops, just there. That will fit in there like that. So we'll just pop that into place like that. So the railing, this part here, catwalk G, fits against the small catwalk that we installed in the last issue, and then there's like a ladder at one end of it. So if you've got it right, like that, the photo etch will sit in, and it will sit, I'll see if I can show you on this one. So that photo etch part there, which hasn't quite set properly, so I'm going to put a bit more glue on that. That photo etch part will sit in there quite nicely. And then the ladder will sit up against that. There we go, that's better. So that railing that we've just attached there, and then you can see the ladder just there that's attaching to that this little catwalk here. So that will attach on like that. So that's that bit done. Glue the small catwalk I in place near the end of the starboard hanger as shown. So I is this one. So it's just a railing. So I'll just see if I can show you on that one there. So it's just a little railing with a little bit of a little railing with a little bit of a catwalk on it. Glue it in place as shown. So what you're doing is, with this one, it's exactly the same thing. Put the glue on the pegs on here. So that's that one in as well, so just in there, you can't really make it out very well, but it is in there. And then one of the two ladders J is glued onto the outer wall of the starboard hanger as shown, so that's into those two holes just there. The ladder just on that side as well. Now this bit is exactly the same, so it's exactly the same on the port side as it is on the starboard. So what I'll do that now, and then we'll come back to you when we've got everything done. There we go then. So that's the parts all attached on there. So we've got the ladder, we've got all the other bits and bobs there as well. So now we've done that, we need to bring in superstructure. So take the forward superstructure and check the position of the port hanger beside the funnel. The open end of the hanger butts up against the forward superstructure. So we're going to be doing this side first. So this is the port one, yes it is. So what this basically does is where you've got that little peg just there. I'll show you on this one actually. So you've got that little peg just there, and then you've also got this little peg just here, and they're going to fit into two holes. So you've got one, whoops, just there, and then you've got one a little bit further back, sort of in this corner up here. That will fit in there like that, so that's all fine and dandy. So I'm just going to take the glue again. Now I'm going to put a fair bit of glue on here. Oops, sorry. Just so these parts stick. And so they stick properly as well. So that's that hanger all done and in place just there. And then we'll do exactly the same thing on this side as well. For those of you that were paying attention, I just knocked a bit of photo etch off there. It was only the bit of photo etch that sits on the top of the, I'll show you on this one, that sits on the top of here, but just on this side, so I'll glue that back on. But there you can see both of the aircraft hangers, one there and one there, all glued into place. So the vents have been fitted to the barbettes, and the breakwaters have been fitted to the deck, along with the accommodation ladder, which is used for accessing the battleship from a boat. Ladders and catwalks have been attached to the aircraft hangars, and the hangars have been fitted to the superstructure deck. So that's it for